important story that needs to now be talked about. The Pakistan media is in overdrive, hyping a meeting in DC between President Trump and Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir. The US side, in sharp contrast, has been muted. President Donald Trump even confessed that he has kept the duo waiting and didn't even know if they were in the White House or not. Listen.
In fact, we have a great leader coming. We have the Prime Minister of Pakistan coming and the Field Marshal. Pakistan Field Marshal is a very great guy, and so is the Prime Minister, both. And they're coming, and they may be in this room right now. I don't know, because we're late. And I said maybe they'd like to join they actually may be somewhere in the beautiful Oval Office.
Despite the nonchalance of the US president, the meeting is an indication of a serious reset in America and Pakistan ties, which have been in a state of dormancy for the better part of a decade. Pakistan has already concluded a significant pact with Saudi Arabia. It is now on a charm offensive with Trump, who, given his family business interests in Pakistan, is only too happy to reciprocate and oblige and reciprocate the goodwill. The question is, how seriously must New Delhi view this budding bonhomie? What are the implications, if any, for New Delhi? Let's open this up. And I want to first begin with Sushant Sareen and bring him into this conversation. There's, of course, Professor Brahma Chileni, both of them specialists. Sushant Sareen, what are the implications, if any, for New Delhi? Should we be over-reading this, assessing this, analyzing this, or should we say, look, I mean, this is what Trump does for leverage. He just wants to send a signal.
I think that is also true. Trump does this for leverage, but I suppose you simply cannot ignore the fact that the ground is shifting. In a strange sort of a way, Rahul, we've always hankered for dehyphenation, and we've got dehyphenation in a different way, in the sense that the Americans are now saying, okay, fine, we are going to deal with India in a particular manner with no relationship to what happens with Pakistan, and we will deal with Pakistan in a completely different manner. Now, if there is going to be any kind of an intersection between how they deal with India and how they deal with Pakistan, we will certainly have a serious problem on our hands. But there is a lot of speculation on what exactly is the ask out of Pakistan. There is this whole crypto stuff, there is the mining stuff. There is also now talk that Pakistan could be recruited as soldiers for hire, as mercenaries basically, for ensuring security in West Asia. This could include, again, speculation mostly. This could include Pakistani troops in Gaza, but I don't see how the Israelis will ever accept Pakistani or Turkish troops in Gaza. But there is some talk of that. There is some talk of Pakistan being outsourced along with a couple of other countries, the security details in West Asia, so that the Americans can start pulling back out of this region and then pivot to China, which is where we will come in. But do we want to become a pivot for the Americans in China, especially under this kind of an administration? And we might have similar administrations in the future. Are we now going to be putting our eggs in the basket of a country which is even more unpredictable than, say, Burkina Faso? You don't know what their policies are going to be tomorrow. You know what their policies are today, but tomorrow he might suddenly decide that he's imposing 100% taxation on some product or the other. So how do you do business with a country like that? How do you deal with an administration like this? And what is there to suggest that a Marco Rubio or a J.D. Vance or any of these other MAGA guys who succeed him after a couple of years will not be doing the same thing? So clearly, I don't see how India can be dealing with the Americans, the way we were dealing with them in the last 25 years. So in that sense, the ground has certainly shifted from beneath our feet. And we have to recognize this reality. And the one leverage which we have, which I personally think, Rahul, we are making a mistake, is, our diplomats and our officials continue to say that while, there is problem on the trade front, but on the defense and the strategic front, the relationship remains very robust, which means that the Americans are getting what they want. And what is in it for you? You know, so why are you not able to leverage the strategic with the economic? Because if it has to be a transactional relationship, then let the strategic also be a transactional relationship of whatever that's worth. I know that's an oxymoron. Strategic is not transactional, but that is the world we are living in now. And I suppose you have to wake up and smell the coffee and understand that it's not business as usual. Uh,
Right.
and we really don't know which direction the Americans are going to go.
Okay.
And I don't want to be left holding the can.
Okay, let me bring in Professor Chileni. Those are some pretty frank and forthright views, perhaps even a very realistic and clear-eyed assessment of where this is all going. But Professor Chileni, what does that do for the balance of power in South Asia? If this bonhomie continues and fructifies on a trajectory or takes us to a place where this becomes a deeper relationship and is a complete reset, what does that do?
It is becoming clearer by the day, Rahul, that India's Operation Sindoor was a military success but a diplomatic and political disaster. India, an emerging global power, now finds itself equated with Pakistan, a smaller, weaker country, a quasi-failed rogue state that is a long-standing state sponsor of terrorism. You look at the trade negotiations India is having with the US. Who's leading the negotiations from the American side? An assistant US trade representative for South and Central Asia. South and Central Asia. The new ambassador nominee to India will have a double role as special envoy for South and Central Asia. All this is reinforcing this equation with Pakistan. But there's one important point that we should not forget, which is that American and Chinese interests converge on Pakistan. What the US is doing in relation with Pakistan actually helps Chinese interests. And what China is doing, for example, keeping Pakistan afloat with loans and other assistance, also advances American interests vis-a-vis Pakistan. So it's becoming very clear by the day that the US-Chinese interests converge on Pakistan. And that should be a cause for deep concern in New Delhi. And look at the meeting that Trump had with the self-styled air marshal from Pakistan and the lightweight prime minister from there. It was attended by the vice president and by the secretary of state. So obviously, when they're discussing concrete issues, it wasn't just a call on. And this was the second time Trump held a closed-door meeting with the de facto ruler of Pakistan, Air Marshal Munir. Certainly, what we are seeing is a major shift in American policy toward Pakistan. Trump is openly and repeatedly lavishing praise on Pakistan. He's calling their leaders great. And the watershed moment, the turning point came when 5 days after the Pahalgam massacre, the crypto company, World Liberty Financial, which was launched by Trump and his sons, and which offers its own digital currency, that company signed a major deal, a partnership agreement with Pakistan. And the World Liberty Financial delegation that visited Islamabad received red carpet treatment from the Pakistani Prime Minister and the Army Chief. And this led to Pakistan's subsequent announcement in May at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas to create a quote-unquote strategic Bitcoin reserve. Pakistan aims to hold Bitcoin long-term as a strategic asset. And I think this crypto deal on April 27th brought about a sea change in Trump's approach toward not just Pakistan, toward the entire Indian subcontinent, even in relation to India.
Right.
And you know the fact that his own personal business interests are influencing his South Asian foreign policy is in keeping with what has appeared in American media, for example, on the front pages, that his crypto ventures, since he got re-elected in November, his crypto ventures have added tens of billions to his family's wealth in just a matter of months. Even the pro-Trump New York Post had to warn that that Trump risks undercutting his presidency with a Hunter Biden style scandal. It's clear.
Wow.
It's clear that what we are seeing.
Is this now, both of you gentlemen? I would like you to weigh in on this question. Is the reset transitory? Will it end with Trump? Professor Chileni, a minute for you and a minute for Sushant Sareen on that question. Yes.
Well, it's a reset for sure, and whether it will last is a difficult question. Trump will seek to extract what he can from Pakistan, just the way he is seeking to extract from India what he can through the trade negotiations. He wants a largely lopsided trade deal, a deal on his terms. He's similarly seeking to extract things from Pakistan. Nothing is permanent in international relations. No relationship is enduring in that sense. I think the most enduring partnership between any two countries is the one between New Delhi and Moscow. Even though the world has changed fundamentally since 1971, when India signed this friendship treaty with the then Soviet Union, that partnership has endured. But most partnerships tend to change, tend to either loosen their momentum or actually continue on a weaker note. But a strong US-Pakistan partnership in the long run clearly will go against the international trend, the pattern that we have seen in international relations for long.
Okay, so Sushant Sareen, now you have the 3As are back in a sense. The army is, of course, part, I think it's running pretty much Pakistan. These pictures tell you that. So I'm not going to over leverage that because it's built into the system. So now you have Allah, you have Arabia, and now you have America. The pack is full. 4 aces, you want to call them, whatever. Is this a coming together coincidental, or is there a larger story here?
We'll have to wait and see. Look, the Pakistan-Saudi relationship is a long-standing one. Okay, now they have announced a new deal, which nobody knows what that new deal is. There is just that one sentence that, aggression against one will be considered aggression against both. This is sloganeering. I haven't seen the deal. I don't think anybody has, to understand what exactly are going to be the obligations. It's very easy to say a NATO style thing, right? But has anybody actually read NATO's Article 5? Because it comes with a lot of ifs and buts and a lot of escape clauses. So it's not a kind of a tripwire that automatically everybody jumps in. So one is that. The second thing is on the reset question, Rahul. I think even if there is a change in administration, even if there is, forget change in administration, a change in attitude, I think there will be a lot of wariness in India on how we are going to be dealing with the Americans. We haven't even gotten over the last 50 years of baggage of our experiences with the Americans, and you still have people saying that the Americans are not trustworthy. And now that lobby gets further strengthened in India. So there will be a reset from the Indian side. There will certainly be a reset from the American side. And also don't forget that when an administration in the United States takes some very significant shifts in policy, those shifts start enduring in subsequent administrations. So Biden could not reverse the attitude of Trump towards China, for example.
That's right. Yeah.
A lot of those things will happen. And finally, 2 very quick points, Rahul, allow me. See, the Pakistanis are saying that the Indians are spending money on buying lobbyists. We have bought the whole house itself, the White House. We have bribed Trump and we have gotten what we want. So that kind of buttresses the point which Brahma was making. But don't also forget, the only thing in Pakistan's basket now is a mercenary army. Because if you look at their economy, if you look at the statistics, there is no investment coming in. Forget, even the Trump family has not invested anything in Pakistan. They will extract money out of Pakistan. They're not investing money in Pakistan. One. The Chinese are not investing any new money in Pakistan. The Saudis have been promising for the last 15 years that they'll be investing money. Nothing has come so far. The only money that the Pakistanis expect is the money which they could get from the Gulf for services rendered.
Well-
And second, they expect that it's not that they will protect Saudi Arabia so much as the fact that Saudi Arabia will now protect them against India, because it kind of complicates India's strategic calculation if we have to take any offensive action against Pakistan.
Well, very-
Saudis protect Pakistan, not the other way around.
Okay, both these gentlemen, viewers, have given us a stark picture. It's not looking very favorable right now. We'll have to really outthink ourselves to make a difference here. We'll need to have out-of-the-box thinking. We leave it at this, viewers. Thank you very much for watching.